welcome back. This is Cooking with Auntie Val, guys. Thank you for stopping by and joining me today for another video. And for today's video is going to be somewhat of a sweet treat. I'm going to be making a pear cobbler, guys. I'm making it on top of the stove. I don't think I'm going to put it in the oven or anything. And I'm also going to make some homemade dumplings to go inside of it, guys. Okay, these are all of my ingredients that I'm going to need. Not a lot. Okay, guys, so let's get started. I have like a cup and a half of sugar. I have my butter. I'm not going to use the whole stick. Maybe a half a stick or so. Then I have my vanilla flavoring. I have ground cinnamon. I have nutmeg. Then I have 2 cans of pears halves. Okay, I'm going to make them a little smaller, and I'm only going to use the liquid in one of the cans. Okay, we get this part together first and get it on and cooking. Then I'll show you how I make my dumplings. Okay, guys, let's get started. So first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this whole can of pears and I'm going to pour it into my bowl. Okay, get that out like that. And then what I'm going to do, I need to cut. I just want to make them like bite-sized pieces. So I'm just going to cut them into 3s. All the ones that are, because these are halves. Okay, so just want to cut them into 3s. Guys, now my butter is a little soft, it's like room temperature. So what I'm going to do, this is self-rising flour, okay? So I'm going to take about 2 cups. Because I can always, whenever I make my dumplings and I have more left, I always just freeze them and take them out when I need them again. So I'm just going to make 2 cups of self-rising flour. Okay, 2 cups of self-rising flour. Okay, next I'm going to take, see how you can just push the butter and it's kind of melting like? So I'm going to take my butter, take the remaining of this, which is almost a half a stick, and I'm just going to cut off little pieces into my flour. Okay. Get in there. Okay, so we use the other half, almost the other half of the butter, margarine actually. Okay, next you want to make sure your hands are nice and clean, and you want to make sure that they're dried. Okay. Because first we're going to kind of just put, I want you to see what I'm talking about. You're going to kind of just put the kind of put the flour on top of the butter. Okay. Push it around like that. Then next, I'm just going to take my hands and just squeeze the butter. Squeeze the flour onto the butter, like I'm trying to squeeze the butter. Yeah, squeeze the flour into the butter. Squeeze it around like that. It's going to look like little clumps of flour, but the butter is just all going into the flour, okay? Now I'm going to use whole milk. You can use water if you don't have milk. So I'm going to take some of my whole milk, and I'm going to pour about a cup. We're going to start with a half a cup because I'm not sure how much of it I'm going to need. So we're going to do about a half a cup, okay? Make sure this butter is all incorporated into the flour. And it is. Okay. So now I'm just going to kind of make a little indent in the middle so I can put the pour my milk in. And can you guys see that? So I'm put a little bit in at a time. You don't want to do things. You don't want to rush the process. You want to make sure you can see. You can see exactly what it is I'm doing here. Okay. Okay. So next I'm just going to take and just fold the flour into the milk. Okay. Okay, of course I'm gonna need more, so I'm gonna open up a little hole in the middle again. I'm gonna put the other half. Now this is a half cup of milk. Might need more, but you just have to start off with a little bit at a time, you know. You don't want to have too much milk. You don't want it to be too much, so you just have to go in a little bit at a time. Okay. Alrighty. See how it's looking? This is how it should be looking. Okay. So I think we're gonna need maybe about another half a cup of milk. Okay. So once again, I'm gonna open up that little center there. I'm going to pour in another half cup of milk. Okay, I think that's about a half a cup. Is that a half a cup? Yep, okay. It's a half a cup. We're going to stir in. We're going to stir around our pears. Those are coming along just perfect, guys. Okay. Next, we're going to just put half of that in there again. In the middle, same process. Just kind of fold it over. So I'm going to kind of fold it over the milk until it kind of soaks up all of your flour, okay? Once it's soaked it all up, then you just want to kind of push it together. In a minute, I'm going to use my hands. I'm just trying to make sure that, let's see. Okay, I think I might need, I don't know, let's see. I might need the other half a cup of milk. So I'm kind of fold it in and over. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need a little more milk, okay guys? That will seal it together. Okay. And I don't like to put the, that's just me. I don't like to touch for the milk to touch my hands. I like for it to be already doughed up. So I'm gonna put a little more milk in here. So this was actually 2 cups of flour and about 1 cup of milk. Okay. But like I said, you have to go in slowly. You don't want to put too much in at a time. Okay. Okay, there's a little left in here, so we're gonna get rid of that. Okay, so that's actually 1 cup of milk, okay? 1 cup of milk, 2 cups of self-rising flour, about a half a stick of butter to make your dumplings with. Now, if you'd like, you can put cinnamon, and you can put some cinnamon and nutmeg into your dumplings too. Okay, see how it's coming to a doughy substance. Okay, so let me flour my hands. I'm taking off too much of my dough. Okay, should have already had my flour there waiting, but of course I didn't. Okay, guys, I have all-purpose flour in here. Okay. Okay, guys, see, you have your dumplings. Just want to keep kneading it. Make sure everything is incorporated in. What I don't use, I'll freeze. I made dumplings the other day, and, well, not the other day, probably about 3 weeks ago, and I had made some apple cobbler, and I just set my dumplings out on the stove, let them thaw it out, and just use those. Alrighty. Okay, guys, and that's how you make your dumpling. Okay, and it's like if you're making chicken dumplings, you can put some of the bouillon in it, or you can also put, I still have time to put some, let me show you. I'm just gonna put some cinnamon and a little nutmeg in my dough. It kind of helps give your dough a little flavor, a little seasoning to it, you know, where it just didn't taste real bland. But once it cooks in, once it cooks down and cook into your cobbler, the flavor is going to be there. Okay. So now we're just gonna knead this in. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay. My grandma used to make her peach cobblers on top of the stove. And she used to make her own dough, and we'd have dumplings. We wouldn't have the crust. Sometimes my mom would make it the other way, in the oven, with the crust at the bottom and the crust at the top. But my grandma would make hers on the stove, and she would make her own dumplings. So sometimes she would use, you can use biscuits, canned biscuits. Okay, guys. See how our cobbler is coming along. Okay, so now I want to kind of see how it's not as thick as I'd like it. So what I'm going to do, cornstarch. Take your cornstarch. Cornstarch, get you about a tablespoon. Now we're going to get some of the juice out of our cobbler. I'm going to take some of this juice. Take some of this juice, pour it into here like this. And we're just going to stir this up. Stir this up real good. turn this down some. Okay. Continue to stir this up. Okay guys, then we're just gonna pour this around in here. The rest of the cornstarch will break up on its own once it's cooked in here. Like this. Remember, you have to taste certain meals, and this is one of those. So I actually added in another cup of water because I think it was a little sweeter than I had wanted it to be. So I added another cup of water. Then I just added in a little more shakes of my nutmeg and my cinnamon. Okay. So now that this is, you know, I don't want it to break up, be mushy. So I have it cut down low. And next I'm just going to take my dough. Okay, I'm just gonna take my dough. I'm gonna take part of it off like this. Then I'm just going to pinch it. Just pinch little pieces off. Okay? Just pinch little pieces off like this and just put them in here. Uh-oh. Some of them are going to just, you know, dissolve. And then some of them you'll still have dumplings, okay? And you just pinch it off and drop it in there. And I think I'll do this whole piece that's in my hand, and maybe a little more. It all depends. Once I'm done with this part, I'll stir it up to see if this is enough or not. I don't think it's gonna be, because I like the dumplings, especially my dumplings. Hey guys, my dumplings are all in. I didn't use all of the dough that I made. So I am gonna let these cook down. Might add in a little more butter, maybe. No, I don't think so. No. I'm good. I'm good. Now, sometimes you have to eyeball things that you're cooking, you know. So, yeah. I know they look like chicken, don't they? But it is dumplings. Okay, guys, I'll be right back, guys. And there you have it. That is how I make my pear cobbler on the stove, not in the oven. Made my own dumplings and everything, guys. If you enjoyed yourself with me today, and if you like how I do what I do, when I do what I do, subscribe to my channel. Cook it with Auntie Val. Until next time, guys. Bye.